So the real challenge, and it's often mentioned in the context of NFC, is the chicken and egg. And how do you roll out this infrastructure to a retailer that you expect consumers to use when they don't have the ability to use it? So the NFC phone is the ultimate device that we want them to have, but at the moment they're only really starting to emerge on the market. So in the interim, there's lots of different options on what we can do. We've chosen to go down the route of the Zappa tag, which is a contactless sticker, as some people refer to it, or a smart ID that you stick on the back of a phone, and you download the Zappa app onto your phone, and your normal phone behaves like an NFC phone. Some other people are looking at sleeves and other gadgets that you stick onto iPhones and that, which to our mind work very well, but they're quite expensive for something that you'd consider to be an interim device. There'd be an order of expense again over what the Zappa tag would be. So if we think that it only has a mobile phone has a shelf life, or usually a life of about 14 to 18 months, and with younger people it's shorter. So we only need this interim device for a period of time before they're going to switch over to an NFC device. And if you look at the announcements the handset manufacturers have made, it does look like the majority of manufacturers will have some sort of handset on the market by the end of 2011. So heading into next year, if we do our job right and there's more applications out there and more merchants and acceptance points, then it should be a no-brainer for somebody when they want to change their phone to want to change to an NFC device. On the merchant side, it's to try and get them to take this leap of faith now for something that's coming in the future. But they need their consumers to be able to transact with them now, so we issue Zappa tags, cards, all sorts of contactless devices that work with the NFC infrastructure. And as a retailer, they don't want to have lots of hardware on their counter, so this counter space is very, very finite and very important. So we put in a reader that's EMV compliant. So in some countries, Ireland being one, contactless cards aren't the norm yet. But we've put in this reader that will be compatible with those cards when they come on the market later this year or early 2012. So the retailer is not going to end up with lots of different boxes on their counter, which they don't want. So the business case for merchants, it needs to stack up individually as a loyalty program or a payment system or a coupon issuing platform or a mixture of all three. The business case for merchants has to be nothing to do with NFC, so that if NFC phones never arrived on the market, this stands up on its own. I mean, we've made it very clear that we want to roll out a sustainable infrastructure that is not. It's going to be enhanced by NFC, but it's not waiting for NFC to make it make sense. So these programs are rolled out by retailers primarily as loyalty programs, gift card programs, coupon redemption programs, or all three. So they're the real challenges. Obviously, we need to integrate to the EPOS, which generally is quite straightforward if the EPOS is sort of 5 years or less old, which most of them are. In some cases, we've come across some merchants that are in the process of changing out their EPOS, and we've rolled in nicely on the back of that project, which has been quite easy for us. Each market we've moved into, it makes no sense to randomly drop terminals all around the place. So we have to build up different environments or different ecosystems just to get a volume of transactions through the platform. So we've gone for 3 different approaches at the moment. I'm sure more will appear, but we've targeted vertical chains in all of the key retail categories. So we've food, coffee chains, sports retailers, and so on. And then we've also targeted a number of towns where we've fully enabled the majority of retailers in the town to accept contactless payments, where they've launched their own town currency, initially as a gift card, and it's morphed into a currency, and that's managed under an e-money license, and lastly then into a town loyalty scheme, and all around keeping money flowing through the town and not leaking out of the town. And then lastly, in another focused environment would be in the sports arena, in a sports stadium, where you get a focus of 55 to 90,000 people in an area over a 3-4 hour period, and how can the key stakeholders in that event learn as much from those people and earn as much revenue as they can from that opportunity during the day. And we've done that in the Aviva Stadium in Dublin, where it's worked quite well.